joined by Vassar College head coach Rich Gary, student athletes Vaughn Ramsey and Jacob Kim, following what will now be known as Bedlam in Boston, a 5-set thrilling win over host Wentworth Institute of Technology to punch their ticket to the national semifinals. Coach, I'm going to toss it to you for your thoughts.
First, most important, Wentworth is an amazing team and really well coached and made some fantastic adjustments throughout that match. And I'm just so proud that we were able to come in and stay really loose and aggressive and give them such a good fight, start to finish. It was a coin toss away from anybody's game the whole time.
Vaughn, I'm assuming a career high 21 kills tonight. You had the answer for everything they threw at you. What were you seeing? What was working for you on the offensive side of the ball?
Definitely. It seemed like they really scouted our middle offense, and so there were a lot of windows for me there. And most of those came from the first 2 sets, and then they kind of cleaned things up, and it was, tough to get it by them, but it opened up the middles a lot, which was nice to see.
And Vaughn mentions the middles. Jacob, you're part of a 2-man show that's running an efficient offense. You guys finished with 67 kills in a 5-setter, 62 assisted. So talk to me about, what were some offensive keys you guys looked for before the match, and what were some adjustments you made during the match?
Well, I got to give props to my best friend and my co-man, AJ Erickson. I couldn't do it without him. But, I think that's something that's really helpful this year is that it feels like I'm able to distribute some of the pressure. Being able to talk to him in timeouts and during the game, it really helps us to be able to stay confident and know who we want to set at what times.
And Coach, Jacob mentions one teammate, but you guys showed the depth of your program today. Some early switches in set 1. We see Armand Desai come in, make a huge difference in the match. We see appearances from Andrew Guaradno, Casey McMenamin. I think we saw Tobias Clark there with the ace at the end on the float serve. Talk about the depth that you've cultivated in your program and the trust that these young men have in each other to know that whoever's next to them can complete a job just as well as whoever started next to them.
It's been a big goal. I think if you have that competition in practice, if you have that kind of depth, my job as a coach is 20 times easier. They're able to battle it out, teach each other things that there's no other way to get that experience. When you go up against a big block, you can talk about it, you can coach it, you can visualize it, but there's nothing better than in practice seeing our guys going up against it. Every guy in this team, the whole, we talked about it a lot, the whole was greater than the sum of the parts, and it really showed today.
And what were you seeing tonight specifically that had you turn to Armand, that had you turn to Andrew, and knowing that those guys might have had an edge in some spaces where your regular starters didn't?
We kind of had this philosophy of we're going to throw a bunch of stuff in that might be fresh legs. It was a really big battle with Nichols last night, and Colin has been doing fantastic, and Payne's been doing fantastic. We thought throw some different legs up there, and then honestly, Wentworth is just so offensive, and they do so many great things that throwing some bigger bodies up there in the block and in attack, we thought might help us crack some things open.
Coach Gary mentions the block. You guys had a tall task in front of you, literally and figuratively. Both of you guys matched up with Jacob Laboulier all night long. One of the first teams to be able to slow him down. You guys both saw plenty of them. What were some things that you talked about? What were some keys that you tried to execute on when you can't hope to stop him but only slow him down?
I think as you said, yeah, he's going to earn his, and we could just put ourselves in the best position to try to play defense around our block.
Just getting hands in front of him and making him think a lot more about where he's hitting, and I think that kind of helps crack him.
And I want to ask you about the fifth set specifically. It was so back and forth, and one thing we commented on a few times, the demeanor of your group never changes. Jacob, I've never seen someone so happy at the service line. You're smiling from ear to ear as you take your approach. So is that something that you guys talk about as a group, is making sure that, hey, even in these tense moments, we want to make sure we're presenting ourselves with poise?
Yeah, so I think that for this game specifically, we all wanted to be really in the moment and really enjoy every part of it. We knew that it was going to be a tough battle from the very beginning, so I think that playing with some fun and a little bit of frivolity can do a lot of good things for us.
Yeah, for sure. I just always want to be the best teammate I can, and I'm having the most fun when I'm playing well, and the two kind of go hand in hand.
And Coach Gary, on the X's and O's side, I can't say for the first time this year, but for the first time I've seen it, 5th set, you flip your starting rotation, you have Jacob serving first. Was that a defensive decision to get Vaughn back on Labou? What was the decision-making tree behind flipping your rotations there?
It's kind of one of those things that I don't do it almost ever. So I thought, you know what, let's give our guys a different look, go out there and keep being aggressive and maybe see a little bit different hands in front of them. And then I thought we were blocking and defending really well, so there were some opportunities to slow them down in different situations. So yeah, it was something maybe Andrew Kim 2 years ago encouraged me to do in certain moments, and I was just really proud to be able to kind of incorporate it this year.
And speaking of, some adjustments and some gamesmanship, Vaughn, I want to ask you about something. I haven't seen you much at the service line this year, but set 4, you go back, you rip an ace, and I see AJ Erickson run up and talk with Coach. Was that a you decision? Was that an AJ decision? Or was that a Coach Gary decision?
That's really much an AJ decision. If he walks up to the line to sub, we're subbing, and I think he has really good judgment there on what the team needs and whether we need a rip or whether we need someone steady. And I don't know, if he's getting points, I'm happy for him to serve. It's just really whatever's best for the team.
Let's have some fun. Let's look ahead. You guys are headed to beautiful Dubuque, Iowa, and you've got a rematch. 3rd time this year. We'll see NYU. How are you guys feeling about your conference opponent being your Final Four opponent?
Gotta love it. I mean, they've kind of become our rival now, so it's going to be good to see them again. I'm happy that they made it past SVU too. So
I'm very excited. It's fun to play a team a lot and kind of build that kind of relationship and tension between them.
Yeah. And our UBC team's going to be in the finals. That's pretty freaking exciting for our conference and for all the hard work from all the teams in our conference. It's been a really special year, and I think we started a little slow as a conference and just kept getting better every week. So it's really exciting. That battle day in, day out maybe paid off for us.